Okay, lovely people, lovely humans, and my greatest fans and supporters. Welcome back to The Crimson Inn by Amber. So I'm going to talk very slow in this video because people are always saying that when I talk fast, my accent is hard to understand and some of my words are kind of distorted, which yes, I understand. I'm semi-deaf, so I kind of say words with certain phrases and syllables that don't sound like clear English. So I hope this sounds more like English for everyone as I talk slower. So I want to talk about the Switch 2 and basically about the things that surround the Switch 2 when it comes to fanboys, fangirls, as well as people's expectations or their false expectations of what to expect with the Switch 2. So everybody says since the original Switch just outsold the PlayStation 2 that it's now not without a doubt that the Switch 2 is going to come out and be this great unit. And everybody's talking about, oh, they're showing PlayStation 4 graphics and stuff like that because the Switch 2 is supposed to have the power of the PS4. And they're showing games like Uncharted and other games like that. And it's just like, you can't really compare those type of games just because of the hardware of the system. Horizon Zero Dawn, Killzone, and other games like that were killing the hardware of the PS4 with amazing details. But you gotta understand, the N-Company, which I'm not gonna say their name anymore because now your videos are flagged for just saying their name. If you go back and watch the Game Awards recently, and we'll talk about the Game Awards next year in some details, but if you go back and watch the Game Awards, even on that stage, they try to give them props about development of games, and they wouldn't even say their name on stage. The guy was so afraid. He just said a company in Japan. He said, I didn't say their name, did I? I didn't say their name, did I? He got nervous about it. Everybody said, no, you're fine. They wouldn't even say their name at the Game Awards because now they have put some kind of legality on their name. You can't even say their name anymore. That's pathetic as a gaming company that only they are allowed to say their name or print their name in anything. But that's a whole nother story. So everybody's going into this hula and wula, and if I say the hula and wula of all this nonsense about how massively powerful the Switch 2 is supposed to be and how their games are going to be lit because the PS4 games look that way. Well, the N-Company don't have the same studios as Sony does. Sony has production quality studios. So they always try to push the envelope, but everything they create, from the Beyond to Soul series when they were out to what's the other game with the androids and stuff in it? That game with they had the cop and the other guy and the girl that's supposed to be they're supposed to come to life. They've been putting stuff like that in development for a year. They've been pushing the envelope. The Uncharted series, the Killzone series, the Ratchet & Clank series, they've always looked fantastic across PlayStation for generations. But the N-Company, they've never been about graphic fidelity. They've never been about that. You've never seen any game to this day that they've actually just went all out with graphical details and given you this blockbuster graphical Mario game or this graphical Zelda game or this graphical Mario Kart or anything. Like, you've never seen it. They've never took the initiative to push the graphic envelope set that way. But people have this expectation that now that the Switch 2 is going to come out, it's going to have the power of the PS4, that you're finally going to get like a really high Unreal Engine type, Metroid or Mario game or stuff like that, which that's just not going to happen because the N-Company doesn't make games like that. And they never have. They've never actually tried to just go all out with this blockbuster type, quality video game. They don't do it. They never have, they never will. And this is why I say people's expectations are out of this world and they just like to hype things up for no reason. And I'm not saying this was not going to be good because obviously they make amazing games on that system. Even the original Switch, the N64, every other platform they've ever had, they've made quality games. Breath of the Wild is still one of my favorite games of all time. Wind Waker of all time. Link to the Past of all time. And if you notice the pattern, yes, I love Zelda games. But Metroid, even the new Metroid, Dread, I loved it to death. Like, absolutely obsessed with Metroid Dread. And I'm so mad, and I deleted my save on accident when I ported my new system over that I'd have to start all over. But that kind of sucked because I worked my butt off to get past all those bosses, and those bosses were tedious. But yes, they've never pushed the envelope, like really try to push the envelope and say, this is how our games could look, this is how we could just really just give you this quality high-end game. They don't go all out. They don't do the production costs on it. They don't spend the money on the budgets to do games like that. They literally port every freaking thing they can and just add on and do add-ons. They rinse and repeat, use music samples, voice samples, audio samples. And if you don't know what I mean, just look at games like Orms, which is a new game that came out that everybody just literally overlooked. And even Orms, they use some of the audio quality and the samples from Splatoon. Even when the characters are talking and stuff like that, those are the same sound effects. They do the same thing in the new Zelda. They use, if it samples the audio and that for certain characters. Even in Mario, the new one just came out, Mario and Luigi, same things, audio samples for other games, and you could tell it's the same stuff. It just must be their so-called language that they're speaking. It's made up language by their company. And it's the same thing. It's just they just rinse and repeat sample. They don't actually add anything in there. They just keep rinsing and repeat the sample after sample. That's why I made my series Wii U versus Switch, so you can actually see just how much stuff they just port and just add on to it. They don't really just go all out with big budgets and make things from scratch. They don't do that. They never have, never will. That's why they keep porting over old games to the new system, because they just rather go the cheap route, and because they know you nutcases are gonna buy it. And it's crazy. And I'm guilty too. Y'all know y'all saw my Switch collection. I'm guilty too, so I can't say anything. So, but I love their games. I do. So, but I'm also, if you haven't noticed, I always say I'm the biggest fan, but I'm also the biggest critic. And the way I say I'm the biggest critic, because I'm very honest, extremely bluntly honest. And my sisters and brothers pick on me and my dad all the time. They say, "Girl, you do not and sugarcoat anything. You just hear the way it is without any kind of resolve or regret." My sister say, "You just say it, whatever, don't you?" I say, "Yes." We went into the store one day and I ragged on this person for like 5 minutes because they were being mean to their child, and I bluntly said out loud, "That blankety blank don't need a child. She's gonna give her child up to someone who will take care of it," really loud. I want to make sure that BITCH heard me, because she was very nasty to her kid, and her kid had Down syndrome, and she made a really rhetorical remark about the child that was so disrespectful. And it's sad because the child didn't even know it was an insult, because they were special needs. And I thought it was very disgusting to have a human being treat a child with Down syndrome like that. So I boldly said some disrespectful shit to her face. But that's another story. I'll tell you story time during one of my streams. But yes, I think we should kind of lower our expectations. Don't expect much out of the Switch 2. It's basically just going to be another Switch handheld with a little bit more power. But I'm guaranteeing you, I'm going to say this very bluntly and boldly, they're not going to do anything with it. And I'm telling you that right now. Their games were not going to just break grounds and say that they're just as great games. And when they had a game that did break ground, you guys ignored the game. What game was that? Astro Chain. One of the best games ever made on the Switch, and nobody played it. Nobody supported it. Made by a top tier Sony company, Platinum Games, with high budget quality game graphics and gameplay, and flawless gameplay at that, and nobody played it. So yes, so I don't know why you guys are getting happy about all this power stuff. Y'all not gonna get any games that's gonna support it, and you're not gonna support the games that they do release on. So think about that. Am I overthinking this? Am I actually talking at the side of my neck, or am I just being bluntly honest and this is just a reality people need to accept? They're not gonna do what they need to do with it, but we're still gonna buy it, right? Of course we are, wouldn't it? I almost said it. We're in company fans, so yes, we are going to play it. Anyway, bye. Leave a comment below what your thoughts are on the situation, and let me know how you feel about the in company's new system, and or you want to purchase it. Okay? That's all I got for you. Bye.